The man who lived for 150 years. Is it even possible? Asterisk Part 1. The mystery of an unbelievable life. Asterisk. What if someone told you that a man once lived for over 150 years? Not in mythology, not in folklore, but in the real world. Would you believe it? In a world where the average life expectancy hovers around 70 to 80 years, the idea of living twice as long seems absurd. And yet, stories of people who have supposedly lived well beyond 100, even 150 or 200 years, continue to emerge. Are these just exaggerated legends passed down by word of mouth? Or could there be scientific truth hidden behind the mystery? Asterisk. The most famous name often brought up in such discussions is Li Qingyuan, a Chinese herbalist and martial artist who allegedly lived for an astonishing 256 years. According to historical Chinese documents, official records claim he was born in 1677 and died in 1933, which would make him the longest living human in recorded history, by a margin so wide it's hard to comprehend. Of course, scientists remain skeptical. There are very few verifiable birth records from 17th century China. But despite that, Li's story has continued to captivate researchers, skeptics, and believers alike. Asterisk. His longevity was attributed to a lifestyle of extreme discipline, consuming a diet of herbs, rice, and wine, practicing meditation and Qigong, a traditional Chinese breathing exercise, and avoiding stress. According to reports, he married more than 20 times and had over 200 descendants. He spent much of his life in the mountains, gathering herbs like ginseng, goji berries, and lingzi mushrooms, many of which are still believed to have anti-aging properties today. Asterisk. But was Li Qingyuan's story unique, or just the most publicized? Across the globe, there have been several claims of people living beyond 130 or even 150 years, from isolated mountain villages to tribal communities in the Caucasus region. Some of these claims were later debunked, while others were never fully proven nor disproven. So we return to the question: is it even possible for a human to live 150 years? Asterisk. How long can the human body actually last to? How long can the human body actually last? Asterisk. To answer that, let's begin with what science tells us. According to modern medicine, the oldest verified person in history was Jeanne Calment, a French woman who lived to be 122 years and 164 days old. She was born in 1875 and died in 1997. Her age is officially recognized by the Guinness World Records because it was backed by solid documentation, birth certificate, identity records, and government data. Asterisk. What made Jeanne Calment unique wasn't just her age, but her relatively good health throughout much of her life. She remained active and mentally sharp even into her 110s. When asked about her secret, she said she ate lots of olive oil, drank wine, and had a sense of humor. Interestingly, she smoked cigarettes for nearly 100 years of her life, which defies almost every modern health recommendation. So clearly, there is more to aging than just diet and habits. Genetics plays a massive role. Asterisk. Modern science now believes that the absolute biological limit of the human lifespan lies somewhere between 120 and 130 years. After that, the body's cells simply can't repair themselves fast enough. Telomeres, the protective caps at the end of our DNA, shorten with each cell division. Once they're gone, cells can no longer replicate safely, and the body starts to break down. This is known as cellular senescence, and it's one of the main drivers of aging. But what if we could slow, stop, or even reverse this process? Part 3. The genetics of longevity. Longevity isn't just luck. It's deeply encoded in your DNA. Studies on long-living families have shown that people who live past 100 often share similar genetic markers that protect them against age-related diseases like heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's. One such gene is FOXO3, which is linked to better cellular repair and stress resistance. Another is SIRT1, which helps regulate metabolism and DNA repair, often called the longevity gene. But these genes are rare, and only a small portion of the population carries them in active form. That said, epigenetics, the science of turning genes on or off through lifestyle and environment, shows that our choices can influence how our genes behave. This opens the door to the idea that even people without ideal genetics can still greatly extend their lifespan by making the right choices. So could a man live to 150 years by mastering his biology? In theory, it's not impossible, but the reality is far more complicated. Longevity is not just about not dying. It's about staying healthy enough to live. The longer we live, the more likely we are to develop chronic illnesses, organ failure, and cognitive decline. Living to 150 doesn't mean much if the last 50 years are spent bedridden.